cast a rock in the western end and thou'll perhaps hit a Sonia Friedman manufacture. In Dreamgirls, the volume of LDS and Harry Potter and the Damned Kid amongst her present credits, or How Very is calling fair a few, the manufacturer has a CV how speaks for himself. As we expend more than period on large digital experiences, we will begin to thirst large dwell experiences too much. Down there is no one superior to supply them rather than Sonia Friedman. These inclusive are large, I loving it, and it's fun, for a time. Virtually a time. And later thou re behind to the difficult job, she says. Thou re looking at me currently, I've yet got fat eyes, I'm yet depleted, I'm yet unsafe, I'm yet very anxious on which following, I yet don't trust any of this successful is actual, since the item how keeps me departure is how the could end at any spot. I job on the base how all is departure to go incorrect. So how tool largest things don't go incorrect since I'm ever hard to bypass it. The difficult job Friedman refers to involves innumerable overseas trips, in procedure to hold her thumb on the heart rate of the theater production both of on Broadway and in the Western late. Really, one such a flyer trip to London previous the year leading in her vision a Shaw she would go on to transmission to the Western End, Summer and Fume. The act was on at the Almeida at the period, and following reception a end off of her personnel, Friedman utilized her just overnight off for her travel to see it. Family member to a tram mentioned Wish or the Window Zoo. Summer and Fume is one of Tennessee Williams's inferior named and more than pilot acting. Set in Mississippi in summer, it tells the history of Alma, a nervous evangelist's child, and her relation in John, a youthful and irate neighbor whose stage is more than sex and alcoholic. That maybe raises the issue of why it's been restored currently, and really why Friedman destined it as possessing Western End capacity. I believe down there's an supposition how if a Tennessee Williams act is not named, it tool it's not nice quite, or as nice as his some plant, Friedman says. Or I believe which CEO Rebecca Frecknall has made is liberated the act via her expressionistic manufacture. She's released the act. Or I found it really inspirational, really driving, the act on flesh versus heart, and how two human beings who include the unbelievable connect, can't go along. So, allows get downward to which a manufacturer in fact does. I include two major roles, explains Friedman. A is to include an concept, and to put along the artistic crew in the act, that might be a new act, a committee, an stock option, an adapt or a recovery. This some party is the industry pattern. The scope, the budgeting, the financial, the positioning, the sale, the theater, the synchronization, the planning, the personnel maintenance, the compressing, the negotiations. In the instance of transfers, as opposed to plant her business originates, Friedman says she tries not to hinder too lot in the cardiac and heart of the unique manufacture. I don't wish to changing which I've seen, since house which I've seen and house which I loving. My purpose is for it to be though superior rather than, more than superlative degree, to go in the area, and for how new area to sense as nature as the unique area. Sonia Friedman has enjoyed a quantity of noticeable traffic in latter year, but in 2016, she went stratospheric, he told. Harry Potter and the Damned Kid was ever potential to be a license to printing cash. Which has done it very specific was how Friedman and her comrade creatives resisted the seduction to consider the manufacture as a cash money cow and created thing really magic, unique and, overall, theater. In the US, one of Sonia's latter Broadway projects implicated earning Indicate Girls to the Phase, a 2004 cinema starring Lindsay Lohan, that was partially relying on Rosalind Sage's Tsarina B. and One Abes, a personality help volume published in 2002. How was very exciting to me since of the planet we now dwell in, and public print. And how youthful girls are mastering in the blood pressure to be ultimate and the trolling and the intimidation, although it was set a length period up all of how, she says. We treated in newsfay to upgrade the volume and how was which very agitated me on the draft, can a history how was so strong to a general up public print, yet be pertinent, and include the identical acuity? And it does. In so lot shows to watch, down there's perhaps a hazard how quality assurance is discredited. Yet, Friedman says, I don't worry about on quality assurance monitoring since how's the bit I'm implicated in this region I miss possessing is how I'm less than accessible to delight the nice times. I'm less than accessible to pop in and out of the dress rooms. To look the shows repeated times. To go to throw drinks and parties. Or in fact how's the large problem of the stage of my career. I went in theater to build families, to build companies, to plunge myself in some stories, and now I can't.